Hi guys, it's Kiarko here, back with another speed build. This is the part 2 to the Victorian Manor, which belongs to the Kingsley family, which is the family that I'll be playing in my upcoming Let's Play series, which is called A Series of Simfortunate Events, which is obviously just a play on a series of unfortunate events. Simfortunate is obviously not a real word, I just thought it sounded pretty cute. Anyways, today I'm doing the interior of this Victorian Manor. Yesterday we did the exterior, so go check out that video. I usually don't post on Saturdays. The reason that I'm doing that is just because, again, I just don't like to separate my videos when there are, multiple parts to them, just because, if you guys are gonna watch them, I'd rather you be able to watch them back to back than have to wait 3 days over the weekend or 2 days, So here's the Saturday video. Maybe there'll be a Sunday video, probably not though, so don't get your hopes up. Anyways, just to talk a little bit more about this Let's Play. Some of you guys said you're really excited about it. I'm really excited too. I hope you guys enjoy the Let's Play. I've never done a Let's Play before, so we'll see. Maybe we'll be off to a bumpy start. I'm not quite sure. But let me know in the comments down below if you have any, tips, tricks, hints, or just general, things that you like about the Let's Plays that you watch that, that maybe I would find useful to add to my Let's Play. Let me know because, again, I've never done a Let's Play before, so any help would be greatly appreciated. If you can't tell, I'm kind of nervous. I'm not very good. Well, I don't know if I'm not very good, but in my head I'm not very good at gaming while talking at the same time, because all my speed builds are obviously pre-recorded, sped up, and then I talk over them, right? And I've tried to talk while I build before when I tried to do streaming for a little bit, and I may still go back to doing Twitch streaming too. It's something I definitely want to work on and work up to. And I think the Let's Play will help me practice talking while I'm gaming. But it is a little bit difficult. It's more challenging than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be easy, I guess, because, a lot of other people do it. But it actually is very much a skill to be able to multitask like that. So I hope it all goes well. I hope you guys enjoy the Let's Play. It's not going to be, it's not like all my videos for the next, little bit are all going to be Let's Plays. I'm still going to interject, random fun speed builds as the Let's Play videos are being released. And that's just because, most of my channel is speed builds, right? So I want you guys to still be able to have speed builds, A lot of the speed builds may be speed builds that have to do with the Let's Play, because if you guys are familiar with this Let's Play storyline, the kids in this family are going to be moving to a lot of different locations, a lot of different houses, and I have to build all those houses. So I think a lot of speed builds that I will be releasing coming up will probably be speed builds relating to this Let's Play. But as always, please leave any recommendations, any suggestions, build requests you have down below, even if they're build requests related to the Let's Play, or just any requests related to the Let's Play, oh, you want the next family that this person visits to be this kind of person or this kind of house or whatever, something like that. You definitely let me know. Definitely, you can definitely tell me that kind of request. Or if it's just totally random and not related at all to the Let's Play, you can also let me know, because I will still build it. Because I love your guys' idea. You guys have great ideas. But right now I'm just setting up what's going to be the library. You can see I already set up a little desk area, but now I'm just setting up the bookshelves that are going to go around this little, I don't know what you call this, a rotunda? A little, I don't know if that's the right word. It's a little round place. But I'm just setting up bookshelves around it. This was kind of difficult to do. I had to do a lot of maneuvering with the bookshelves. You could see me going outside a lot because I had to make sure the bookshelves didn't intersect too much of the wall. But I think it turns out looking pretty cool. And later I put a piano in the center. It's a beautiful library. I love this library. Honestly, it's probably my favorite part of the house is this library. It's so cute. But the reason they have this really huge library is because they're all geniuses. They all have the genius trait. And the father, Albert, and the eldest daughter, Cordelia, are both aspiring writers. So I imagine they would also be people who read a lot too. So I thought having their own library would definitely be something that they would invest in, considering that they're super rich also. If I was super rich and I was a writer, I would definitely have a massive library. Even honestly, even though I'm not a writer, I'd probably still have a massive library. That being said, I have said this in past videos, I'm trying to get back into reading. I'm not fully a reader right now. I fall into that category of people who like really, really loved reading while they were growing up, and then once they became an adult and started doing college and work and stuff like that, they just kind of lost time and attention and just don't read anymore. But I want to get back into reading. You know, I really do. So maybe having like my own massive library will help me with that. Or maybe not. I'd probably just like walk around in it in like a ball gown and pretend I'm like Belle from Beauty and the Beast or something. I'd probably use my library more for aesthetic purposes, if anything. But I don't know. I would like to try to get back into reading. I love going into bookstores. Like, I really like just looking at books, and I really like the idea of just being around books. I just need to switch on in my brain that says, okay, now we're actually gonna read, you know? But for some reason, my brain just doesn't have that switch right now, so, you know. If you have any, you know, recommendations for books or anything, leave them down below. I definitely need book recommendations. The last book I read was, let's see, Chronicle of a Death Foretold by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, which I read that like a month or two ago, and that was always one of my favorite books. I really like it. It's like what's it called? What's it called? Supernatural realism? Magic realism, that's what it's called. It's a magic realistic book, and I really like it. It's a short book, very, very short. Highly recommend checking it out if you can. It's great. I love it. But that's my recommendation. That's the last book I read. So if you have any recommendations based on that book, let me know. Because, you know, I want to get back in reading. Anyways, we are doing the living room now. I was totally just, you know, droning on there about books for, you know, forever. It's not even related to the build. I do this a lot where I build, and then when I'm talking, I just totally go off on a separate tangent, like I'm doing right now. So, because I'm kind of a scatterbrained person. If you guys can't tell by now, watch any of my videos, you'll figure it out pretty fast, and I'm pretty scatterbrained. Anyways, this is the living room. I think it's totally lovely. I love this little metal, like old-fashioned, like wood-burning fire, or is it a fireplace? I don't know what you call that. Like a, it's like not exactly a fireplace. It's like a stove fire thing. I don't know what you call it, but it's pretty cool. I like that a lot. That's one of those new custom content pieces that I recently downloaded. And I gave it its special own little tile section, which I thought really added some definition to that area. I do actually end up giving them like this old-fashioned TV. I wasn't originally going to give them a TV because I didn't really see them as the TV type, and I didn't want to like a lot of new technology, but I have this old-fashioned TV that you can see here, and I thought it fit pretty well, so I put that in. And then I put in this little chess set. I don't think it's actually functional, to be honest. So honestly, like I may swap it out later for an actually functional one, just because for gameplay purposes, since this is for an LP, having it functional is kind of important. So I might swap that out. We'll see. Like while I'm doing the LP, we might change things about this house later on, just depending on, you know, what the Let's Play requires. I'm doing the kitchen now. I do like how the kitchen turns out. It's not my favorite kitchen I've ever done, and I might redo it later on. Just, I don't know. Let me know what you think of this kitchen. I have mixed feelings about this kitchen. It's really cool, but it's freaking huge. Like, this is a massive kitchen. And honestly, like, in terms of my personal taste, I prefer smaller kitchens for some reason. I just don't like massively open space kitchens. I like everything kind of being close by because I don't want to walk all the way across the kitchen to get like, you know, a glass of water, and I have to walk all the way back to get a whisk, and then walk all the way over there to get a spoon, you know. It just seems like a lot. I prefer small, cozy kitchens, just with a lot of counter space, because I like to bake sometimes. I baked cookies the other day at like 2 a.m. because I just randomly wanted some chocolate cookies in the middle of the night. That's the kind of person I am. I'm the middle of the night baker kind of person. Yeah. Anyways, I'm setting up, let's see, little decorations in these shelves right now. These are really cute shelves. I really like the fact that it comes with like an open version and a closed version, because you can really get like a dynamic look with that. And as you guys know, I always like adding details of, you know, realism. Like, for example, that bowl of mashed potatoes on the counter and that ham and stuff and all the food there. I really just like adding things that make the space seem like it's actually being used by people, and not just, you know, not just like staged furniture. But yeah, putting in a little table here. There's a lot of like sitting spaces in this house. You'll see there's like a lot of tables and desks and stuff like that. But because, okay, you guys know how in the newest patch there was like a problem where all the custom content chairs broke. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but they changed something about, it was like some reference number in I'm probably not explaining this right. They changed something about how chairs were categorized in the game, like in the code and stuff. So a lot of people's custom content chairs just broke and you can't use them, and the Sims can't sit on them anymore. And a lot of custom content creators figured this out and they updated their chairs. Now a lot of custom content chairs work again. But I did not update a lot of my chairs just because, you know, I'm lazy. So a lot of my custom content chairs that I've been using, I still use them in my speed builds and stuff, but in terms of gameplay, they're actually kind of broken. Sims can't sit on them. So for this build, since I'm actually going to use this build in a Let's Play, you'll notice a lot of the chairs that I pick are game content chairs and not custom content chairs, and that's just because I had to use functional chairs, so the chairs aren't always my favorite, you know, design choices. I'd much rather use my custom content chairs, but I still think it ends up looking pretty good. Anyways, this is Cordelia's room. She is the eldest daughter. She's a very nice room. I really like the comforter that she has, like the pattern there. I've used this comforter a couple times, and every time I do use it, I tell you guys how much I love it because it's so beautiful. I love the color palette. I love the checkers. I love the mismatched pillows. It's so beautiful. I just can't get over this bedspread. It's so wonderful. I wish I had it in real life. You know, honestly, I wish I had all my custom content in real life. But obviously I cannot afford any of those. Maybe one day I'll be able to buy a comforter that looks like that. Or my own typewriter. Oh, that's so beautiful. But typewriters I feel like are purely an aesthetic thing for me, because the more I think about like using one, it seems like a lot of work. Like you have to like, if you mess up a sentence, you have to like put white ink on the thing and then type it again. It just seems like so much work to use a typewriter that I purely would only own one for aesthetic value, and I would never use it, if I'm being like absolutely honest with myself and with you guys. But let me know, do any of you have a typewriter? And if you do, like, do you actually like use it to type things? Because I'm really curious if that's like a real thing that people do. Seems really cool. Seems really, really cool. This is the room for the toddler, the youngest child. Her name is, oh my god, it's slipping my mind, Edith. Edith. I thought that was really cute, because you can call her Edie, which is so cute, little Edie. I kind of gave them all names that could be shortened into nicknames, like Cordelia can be called Delia, or I guess Cordy, but we'll call her Delia. There's Phineas, you can call Finn, and then there's Edith, who you can call Edie, because I wanted them all to have really cute little names. But this is her little room. You can see she has a lot of toys. I figured she's a very playful, adventurous child, very independent, very smart. They're all very smart. And now we are doing Phineas's room. He is a child. He is the middle child. He's very shy, also, you know, a genius. I honestly, you know, I think we'll figure out more of their characters as we play the Let's Play together, because I have a general idea of, you know, what they're kind of like and what their interests are and stuff like that. But I do think that we'll be able to figure it out in a lot more detail once we're actually playing the game. And we can see, you know, maybe Phineas is like a chess master, or maybe he's going to be like a professional cook or something. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll explore Phineas's character. Cordelia, for sure, I know she's a writer, and I know she wants to be a writer. And Edith is obviously a toddler, so I don't really know about her yet. But we'll see. We'll watch them grow together, and we'll watch their characters change together. But as always, you know, I really like to collaborate with you guys as much as possible in my builds, in like any video I make. So if you really have anything at all that you want to happen during the Let's Play, like any sort of plot point, any sort of change, anything like that, let me know, because I really like to collaborate on these things with you guys. I like the videos to be you and me being creative together, which I think is such a cool thing about the internet, that we can like do this stuff together. This is the parents' room. I gave them this really interesting like wood detail on the floor. It looks like a rug, but it's not. It's supposed to be like a ingrained wood detail. It's like part of the actual flooring. I thought it was so beautiful. And I'm just putting in some lights. This is the mother's archaeology room. Her name's Harriet. And she's an archaeologist. So this is like her study, right? This is where she like studies bones and stuff. I'm not I'm not someone who knows a lot about archaeology, so I'm just kind of like guessing that this is kind of a space she might have as an archaeologist. Obviously a lot of storage. She's got like brushes and tools and stuff. And then just like bones everywhere. Little fossils, human skulls, which I don't think she'd actually really have in her house, but you know, she's a very interesting lady, I think. And she's got this like floating whale that's like attached to the ceiling. I thought that was so cool. I don't know why. I just like that as a detail. But this is her archaeology study. I put in this archaeology, the archaeology activity table thing in this room, even though I kind of hate how the mesh looks, to be honest. I hate that shade of green. I hate how the mesh looks. I wish I had a custom content version that was functional, but I don't. But the reason I had to put it in is because, again, it's a Let's Play video, so I'm gonna need to have a functioning archaeology activity table, so that's why that's there. This is just a little reading corner I set up just because I didn't want the space to be empty, and then here we're gonna set up Albert's writing office. So this is where he types up all his books. I haven't really figured out what kind of writer he is yet. I think he's probably gonna be like a mystery or horror writer or something like that. Just because I thought it'd be relevant to the storyline and the general vibe of the Let's Play. But that being said, I love this build. I love the exterior. I love the interior. It's a beautiful house, beautiful family. But again, the title is a series of Simfortunate events, meaning unfortunate events. So sad things are gonna happen to these people. Sad things are gonna happen to this house. I wouldn't get really attached to anything in this build because it's all gonna be kind of a pile of ash pretty quickly. Just to give you guys a little hint there. So yeah. We'll see how the first episode of the LP goes. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the first video I'll release next week, as in like I'm not sure it'll be like the Monday video, but the first episode will definitely be out next week. So keep an eye out for that, and we will go on this LP journey together, which I'm very new to, so I need a lot of help. So please hold my hand along the way. I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys really like this build. It was very fun to do, and I'm very, very excited to bring the family into this house and actually play with them. Anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.